Welcome, everyone, to our world famous Sunday gathering. Yay! We're so grateful you're here. And you read that right. This is Sunday gathering number 262. Last Sunday, we celebrated our fifth birthday, which is just crazy. So, yes, every Sunday at this very time, people from all over the world join together and watch a few of us on the screen. Yes, you do. But more importantly, we gather for love, for empowerment, for inspiration, for joy, with that greater understanding that our loved ones who have passed from this world are still alive and well. If you haven't yet met me, I am Sandra Champlain, author of the book We Don't Die, A Skeptic's Discovery of Life After Death. I have two podcasts with now well over 700 episodes. I am committed not only to giving evidence of the afterlife, but grief is something that joins many of us to this conversation. So any grief relief we can give you, we will, and also empowerment on how to have a great life. I am joined by two fabulous people today. It's Kath and Mitch Shirley. They're both longtime mediums, great people. They run thesoultrust.com. Also, they're both advanced grief recovery specialists and hold once a month our grief cafe. I know many of you had joined them this past week, and so we really want to celebrate Kath and Mitch for all they do. We're here together for about 90 minutes. I know we've got people here for the very first time, people that have joined us for much of the past 5 years. Wherever you are, it will unfold and we'll tell you everything that you need to know. Today is Mothering Sunday in various countries around the world celebrating Mother's Day. So a shout out to moms. Also, we're going to celebrate it again on the 11th of May for other countries that celebrate Mother's Day. So there'll be that theme woven into today. I am your hostess with the mostest. Everybody calls me. So I'll be handling things kind of behind the scenes, also doing our reading today, our healing thoughts for the week, announcements, those kind of things. Our dear friends, Kath and Mitch, they're going to open us in prayer, close us in prayer. They'll also be doing the address today and our demonstration of mediumship. So grateful they're here and just stay engaged. We have a chat box and you can meet people from all over the world. And we're just grateful that you're here. So I think I've said enough. What I'd like to do is turn it over to one of my friends for the opening prayer. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you, Sandra. And hello, everybody. Please do sit in the quiet of your own special sacred place, wherever you may be in the world, as we send our thoughts out to the unseen world and to our Father God or to our guiding spirits. However you prefer it to be phrased is entirely up to you. Divine and infinite Spirit, we thank you for bringing us here together today. From wherever we may be in this world, we are truly grateful for the opportunity to come together as one, a group of like-minded people whose only wish in this world is for everyone to feel the love and to feel at peace with each other and with oneself. We know that in this world right now, there is much uncertainty. There is much about this world that feels a little bit scary right now. But we know that with our thoughts and our prayers, and that by being together as one, we can be supportive. We can share in a world that is still extremely beautiful, that we can share in the love that we feel for one another, that even though we may not be a mother ourselves, we might not hold that title, we still know how to nurture one another, we know how to comfort one another, we know how to provide that stability and that trust that each and every one of us needs to progress in this world. And so on this day, Mothering Sunday, yes, in some parts of the world, Sunday for all of us, we are here to say that we love one another, that we share in our worlds together. No matter what the distance may be, there is still a commonality, and that is that we share our thoughts, we share in our love, we share in this truth that there is no death, that we cannot for the life of us die. And that is something to be celebrated and also to be commemorated with each and every one of our family members and this, our own family of We Don't Die. And so we leave this service in your care and in your keeping, knowing that all will be done in truth, in sincerity, and in love. Amen.
Thank you so much, Kath, for the reading. Friends, today is Mothering Sunday, honoring mothers, but this month in America is also Women's History Month. I'd like to share some quick stories of ladies and mothers who have made a huge difference. And for us all to know that we never know the difference that we can make and the legacy that we may leave behind. Clara Barton, a mother in spirit, her compassion birthed the American Red Cross, bringing healing to countless lives. Susan B. Anthony, a woman who championed the rights of all women, striving to mother a more just and equal world. Harriet Tubman, who mothered freedom for so many, leading them to safety and a new life. Mary McLeod Bethune, a mother figure for many, who against all odds founded a school and empowered generations with education. Dr. Grace Hopper, a pioneer in computer science, a mother of modern computing, whose innovations like the compiler, which translates mathematical code into machine-readable code that we use every day, was born from her vision and her perseverance. Marie Curie, a mother and groundbreaking scientist whose pioneering research on radioactivity not only revolutionized medicine, but also illuminated the very nature of the universe, a testament to the mother's relentless pursuit of knowledge. Rosalind Franklin, a brilliant scientist and mother of our understanding of DNA. Her work, though sometimes overshadowed, was essential to unlocking the very code of life, a mother's contribution to the future of science. Ida B. Wells, a mother and courageous journalist and activist who fearlessly documented and fought against racial injustice. Her voice, a powerful voice for change, a mother's fierce dedication to equality. And Katherine Johnson, a brilliant mathematician and mother whose calculations were essential to NASA's early space missions. Her precision and dedication helped us reach the stars, a mother's mind that helped humanity achieve the seemingly impossible. But today, let us also turn our hearts to the countless mothers whose influence, though perhaps unseen by the wider world, has shaped the very fabric of our own personal lives. Think of the mother who, with tireless devotion, taught her children the value of kindness, even when the world seemed so harsh. Her gentle words, her patient guidance, created ripples of compassion that spread through her family, her community, and beyond. We may not read about most of these women in history books. We may not see their faces on the covers of magazines, but their impact is undeniable. And so today, let us remember that you, and I mean each and every one of you, carry that same potential. You don't need a grand stage or a public platform to make a difference. You simply need to care. Your love, your compassion, your willingness to be present. These are the tools that shape the world one heart at a time. So thank you for listening to my reading. We're going to go into our healing now. And those of you who are here for the first time or those need a refresher, I know that those in the unseen world can use our human energy and direct it to where it is needed in the world. And also, we set that love and that intention and those absent prayers, they all make a difference, even if we don't know how it works. it is my personal belief that when we feel good, there's a little extra boost of that healing that can happen, little extra charge of those good vibrations going out in the world. A beautiful song that Kath and Mitch chose today from Ed Sheeran called Supermarket Flowers. If we take some time to send that healing and picture everyone happy, whole, healthy, and well, even some healing for you, we will send as well. But with that, maybe there's a thought or two of gratitude for someone who was that mothering figure in your life. So we're going to play the song. You can sit for healing with eyes open, eyes closed. It's up to you. And when the song ends, the next voices you'll hear are from Kath and Mitch, who will deliver our address. So here is our healing song.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for that beautiful piece of music. I know we were invited to choose the music, but I think we all recognize that music has a place in our lives, and no matter what's going on in our lives or what has gone on, we hear a piece of music and instantly we are right back there. And yes, that piece of music I do hear quite regularly in my job as a celebrant. And tomorrow I have a very different service to take. And 4 weeks ago, on the 28th of February, I lost my mum. And tomorrow it is her funeral service. And I promised her that I would take it and I will honour that promise and I will take it. And if I fall at the hurdle, Mitch, my knight in shining armour, will pick up the mantle and speak the words that I have written. And I think it's going to be a difficult day. I do know that. I'm quite prepared for that. But also a day that I get to do something that I'll only do once, thank goodness. And it's not going to be easy. I do know that. But I kind of prepared some words that I might choose some of them. So today in the UK and other areas, in the world, it is Mother's Day, and I am very fortunate that we have four beautiful children that are here, and we have one child in the spirit world. So I'm mum to five children, and I feel that, oh, I can't forget the fur babies as well. I am also mum to two fur babies here and quite a few that are now in the spirit world as well. So it is a great honour to be able to say I'm a mum. It is something that I value greatly, and my heart bursts with pride at our children and the people who they are and the people that they are in this world and the contributions that they make, which are huge, aren't they, in this world to us as their parents and to other people as well. And we celebrate mums in all their forms, don't we? So we have our mums and we have, I'm going to read what I've written, so forgive me because my eyes will then go down. So the ones who raised us, the ones who guided us, and the ones who loved us, whether that's by birth, by choice, or by circumstance. Today, we honour the mothers who are with us, their warmth and wisdom shaping our days. We remember the mothers we have lost, holding their love in our hearts. We acknowledge those who long to be mothers, those who have had to say goodbye too soon, and those whose journey of motherhood has taken unexpected paths. To the grandmothers, the aunts, stepmothers, and mother figures who have filled our lives with care. To the friends who have mothered us in moments of need, and to those who have nurtured without the title. Today, we see you. Motherhood is more than a word. It is an act of love, strength, and devotion. It is found in comforting arms, in whispered encouragement, in sacrifices unseen, and in lessons that last a lifetime. So, whether today is a day of joy, remembrance, or reflection, may we hold close the love that endures beyond time and distance, because a mother's love, wherever it comes from, never, ever truly leaves us. So this morning, I have my fairy godmother, my Auntie Kath, who was there with my mum the day that I was born. So on the day that I was born, 60 years ago now, the midwife was named Kathleen, or Kathy for short, and my Auntie Kath, Catherine, was there at the side of my mum. And so I think it was a bit of a no-brainer that I was named Catherine. So all three different spellings. And my mum used to regale me with the story that my Auntie Kath was at one side holding my mum's hand at those crucial moments when the pain started to become a little bit more intense. And apparently the midwife had put newspapers under my mum's legs. And my mum was, I think she was going through the final bits of labour. And my Auntie Kath said, my mum's name is Gillian. Gil, just move your leg a bit. I can't read the last of this news article. And my mum said, oh, for goodness sake, Kath. And she said, just nudged her a little bit, just moved her leg a little bit. And yes, she became my godmother. It's amazing, really, isn't it? And when I was younger, my Auntie Kath was down as the person, God forbid, should anything have happened to my mum and dad, she'd have been the one person who we'd have gone to. Amazingly, which we joke about, saying, good grief, she was trusted with these two children, me and my brother. And yet this is what she said to my mum. But this morning she rang me and she said, I've seen your post on Facebook and I've seen the picture that you've put up of your mum. It's a lovely photograph, and it is, because as a child, we don't really understand our mums always, because we are busy being a child and they are busy being our mums. And sometimes we don't really see it, do we, until we're an adult. And then we see it. Either the roles reverse and we become the parent and we become the caregiver, or we become a parent and we see it from a different angle. But I did thank her this morning. I said, thank you, Auntie Kath, because she really has been my bonus mum and my fairy godmother in the days since my mum's not being well and since mum's been gone. So she has been there for me. And we always, no matter how old we are, we always need somebody there for us, don't we? We always need to be able to turn to somebody, whether that's a person with a nice beard, or whether that's our mums or our fairy godmothers or our best friends. It doesn't matter who it is, but we always need that person to be able to turn to. And now I'm going to turn over to Mitch.
Thank you. I've been to see my mum today, and my mum's always been an incredibly practical person. But last year, she had a slight fall. But I can't really say I blame anything else other than my mother, because typical of my mother, she was climbing the kitchen units, reaching over the sink to clean the big kitchen window. And it was only the year before that she'd given up cleaning the outside windows because my dad was no longer strong enough to hold the ladders while she was climbing the 8 foot to reach the bottom of the window to start the cleaning. And that's my mum. Somebody incredibly practical, just gets on with it. And over the years, there's been numerous disagreements and things that haven't gone well and time apart. But whenever people speak of their mum, I'm able to reflect upon like my childhood. And one incident in particular that sticks out was a time where, as a child, and I still have, I'm classed as an asthmatic, but from a baby, I had really bad asthma, and it was quite a major issue for me. And obviously, for those of us born in '66 and that, we lived in different times than what people live in now. And I was at school, which was about 2.5 miles away from home, unable to breathe. So the school rang my mum to explain that I was unable to breathe and could she come and fetch me. Now, my mum's never drove. Apparently, it's my fault, like most things are. If we go back far enough in time, we find a place where we can park and say, yes, it was his fault. Because as a child, I didn't like the fact of her driving. So I was the reason why she stopped. But my mum walked up to the school, and because nobody was free or an opportunity was available, my mum had me half hanging over the top of her so that I wouldn't need to walk. I wouldn't be working as hard. And she half carried me, nurtured me, encouraged me, stopped, and she got me home. And that, in so many ways, signals the lady that she is. She will do whatever she can. And that, for me, is what being a mother is being there and being able to do what you can. Not what somebody else can do, but what you can. The best that you can. I'm incredibly lucky in the fact that the lady that I chose to be the mother of my children, and she chose me to be the father of her children. And it's very often throughout the days as my mind wanders at different things that I reflect on the mother that my children have. And I know over the years that she has been an absolute lioness on their behalf. It's usually been a bit of a battle, really, for who could get him first. And there'd be a little bit of negotiating who would get that half a step across one another to get him first. And despite agreeing that in situations, well, it's my turn to speak because you jumped in last time. Yeah, okay. And either one or the others would jump in front of the other. But loving comes in so many different ways. And it doesn't matter who's there. We may want a certain person there, but the fact that someone else considers us special enough to give us love, I believe the biggest gift that we can give back is to accept that love without a but, without a, well, it's not the same. It may not be, but it's given in love. And that, when we actually stop and take that moment and reflect upon what is given to us in love, we will all, whatever age we come, have been so fortunate to be given love that when we reflect on it, if we reflect with gratitude, it will lift us. No matter how terrible a situation, we have all experienced something or someone who has loved us, for us, from them. And that's the last thought I'd like to leave you with, is just reflect how lucky you've been with all the different people have been generous with their time, with their love. Because it is the little things that people do that makes us realize they care about me. They love me for who I am. And if beyond all of that, you say, well, I've never had anybody to love me, within you resides the spark of God. And God loves you that much that you were given this opportunity to live this life. So please live it. Live it and love it. Thank you.
Thank you both for such amazing words. Friends, we have no way of giving a standing ovation, but I think it would be sent. If you folks want to press your raise hand button, that just is a little love being sent your way. Thank you both. Really, it touched my heart. And Kath, I know there's going to be 150 people more that are going to send their thoughts and love and strength with you tomorrow for your mom's service. Oh, incredible. Well, with that, let me just dry my tears a bit. We're going to move on to our demonstration of mediumship. This is a time to rejoice, to get to see how close our loved ones are. There will be members of our community that will get readings today. Kath and Mitch are our mediums. But why it's important for everyone to listen in is I say this a lot lately, and I kind of like it. On Zoom, you can't see each other. That's just because this is webinar style. But you can see Kath and Mitch and myself. We're what's called panelists from Zoom. Now, we can't see our loved ones either, but through our medium demonstrations on our Sunday gathering, I like to say that we get 3, 4, 5, depends on how much time we have, loved ones from the spirit world who are panelists from the spirit world. Why this is important, I know each and every one of us pray that our loved one comes through, and certainly that's just not possible. But if you just listened to Kath and Mitch and something just touched your heart, I want you to pay as close attention to the words that come through the mediums from the loved ones in the spirit world, as if they are panelists from the spirit world and they're here to touch your hearts as well. Certainly, they'll give some evidence for their loved ones, letting them know it's them. There'll be a message, but pull that message towards you, because those sneaky folks in the spirit world have a way of touching our hearts, just as Kath and Mitch just did. So if this is your first time or you've been with us before, a little reminder of how this goes. Kath and Mitch each have their own ways of working with the spirit world. Our loved ones can appear to them in whichever way they wish, whether it's visually, whether it's a feeling, whether it's thoughts. They'll use Kath and Mitch's memories and feelings, and sometimes there's a piece of music or a taste or a sense of smell. You never know how they're going to introduce themselves. Our mediums will give a few initial bits of information about the spirit person that is with them. And these people, they can be your loved ones, they could be friends, they could be someone you worked with, maybe somebody a little distant. They know exactly who's here on our Sunday gathering, even if you think you're all alone, going for a walk, listening into this new thing called a Sunday gathering for you. But they know you're here. So we want everyone to be on the edge of your seat. If the description of the person in spirit belongs to you, like I said, you can understand all the information. And now we're approaching 150 people here today. So please, if you can just press your raise hand button, if you can take all the information. So this is an opportunity. I know I just asked you to press that raise hand button, but just as a little practice, the raise hand button is what we use for us to know that you can recognize this person in spirit. So if you just want to play around with it, why I recommend people do that is because sometimes there's more than one person that can take all the information. And so our medium will keep working so that ideally one hand is left up. So you'll notice your raise hand button turns into a lower hand button when your hand is up. And just for time's sake, really just put your hand up if you can take all of the information. If no one has their hand up, of course, Kath and Mitch will continue working so that we find the right recipient. if you are the person that works with one of our mediums here today, I press a button on my side. You're going to get a flash on your screen and an unmute button will appear. We'd like you to press that. And if you work with a medium on a Sunday gathering or anytime you have a medium reading, anytime, your job is simple. Let them do the work. And all we need for you to do is say yes, no, or I don't know to the information that they provide. Simple, huh? Often we get really excited and we want to volunteer everything about our loved ones. We ask you not to do that because to know that our medium really does have our loved one, it needs to come from them, not from us. All right. So that's proper mediumship. So everybody's nodding their head right now, just a yes, no, or I don't know if you work with medium today or anytime. For everyone else, be on the edge of your seat. Listen in, pay attention for some of these validating bits of evidence that they always show how close they are. They're part of our daily lives. They continue to learn and grow, of course, in the spirit world, but they are so easily with us. And then often there's a message that comes through. And I don't know about you, but I often sit here and go, gosh, I need a little of that myself, just like the words that Kath and Mitch just shared. So this is a very special time on our Sunday gathering, our demonstration of mediumship. Again, pull those readings towards you. We always like to play a piece of music before we start our demonstration. Kath and Mitch have picked another beautiful piece of music. So it's a nice time to just imagine your loved ones there by your side. They communicate through our imagination. When we have a random memory or a thought that just pops up, something fun we did together, we often just think, oh, that's our imagination. But it can be them saying, I'm right here with you. So you want to pay attention to that. So let me play our song, and then we'll be right back with our medium demonstration with Mr. and Mrs. Shirley. Here we go. Beautiful song.
Love it. He's got a fabulous voice, hasn't he?
He does.
Very good looking chap as well, don't you think? Mitch is not here right now, have you noticed?
Okay.
He's gone to get refreshments. He's on his way now. Right. As just as that music was ending there, I was aware of a lady here, and she does feel like Mum. Now, of course, we've all got our quirky ways, and we're all very individual and unique. And I'm aware here that this lady's sense of humour was quite different to the majority of people's, shall we say. And I'm aware here that her life experiences always, I'm going to get there in the end, but I know that she did things in life and things just never seemed to pan out well, which was there was always a tale to tell, and something funny happened at the end of it all. And she makes me feel here that she was involved in other people's lives, as in going to help them or going to support other people. But I don't feel she was a social worker, but I am aware that she would have supported people who desperately needed support, but weren't always wanting that support. But I know that Mum was a lady who went out into the community and she helped people. But I'm aware that she had the most amazing sense of humour, and whatever happened, she saw the funny side, and there was often a lot of sadness there in the work that she did. So I know that Holly, has put a hand up. So does that make sense, Holly? Oh, and another person as well.
If you can understand this lady, press your raise hand button. Okay, we have Holly and Samantha.
Okay.
Would you like to hear their voices? Not yet?
Yes, please,
Okay.
if that's okay.
Yes. Okay. Holly and Samantha, if you can find that unmute button and press it. Hi, Samantha. We'll say hi to you first.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. So, Samantha, do you understand all of this information, being your mom?
Yes.
Okay. Bear with me. Holly, does that make sense to you also?
Hello. Yes, it sounds to me very much like my mother-in-law, and my husband is sitting next to me and he feels shy.
Okay, okay. Oh, don't be shy. There's nothing to be shy about. Right. So whichever one I am with, I am aware that when this lady got home, I don't mean she revealed everything about what had taken place, but I do feel she could have written several books about her working life experiences. And then on top of that, she has her own family dilemmas. And, she reminds me a little bit. You used to watch Roseanne?
Samantha, I'll ask you first. Does this
I'm
make
sorry,
sense?
what was the question?
Did you used to watch Roseanne? Roseanne
Yes.
Barr? Well, you know how Roseanne Barr, in that particular comedy, how her attitude to life was. This is how your mum, if it's your mum I'm with, or Holly's mother-in-law, but this is how she makes me feel. Her approach to life was very come day, go day. And if anybody would have dared to approach one of her children or say anything that she didn't like, or if she felt offended in any way, people were in no doubt about how she felt about this.
Yes.
Yes, from
Okay.
Samantha. Holly?
Holly?
Yep.
Okay, right, let me get down to this. And would you understand this lady liking I want to say upbeat country and country music. I don't mean the country music, please don't shoot the messenger. I don't believe it's the country music where I'm feeling down about things, but the upbeat country music where I'm up and dancing, and she would have got up and danced as well.
Samantha?
Not country music, no.
Not
Okay,
country.
Holly?
100%.
Yeah.
Now you're going to hear from my husband.
What's
Okay.
husband's name?
Troy.
Hi, Troy. Okay.
Hello.
Samantha, you keep listening in, but I think you're with Troy.
Okay, Troy, do you understand all of that?
Yes.
Okay, don't be shy. It's only me, and I'm a million miles away from you, so don't worry. Um, but you would understand with your mum, if there was a family get together, she was up on the dance floor, and she would get other people up on the dance floor with her. And before you knew where you were, everybody was out of their seats on the dance floor, and it was full.
That's in line with her personality for sure.
Okay. And your mum loved to make a difference, and she did definitely make a difference to so many people's lives.
Yes.
Just yes, no, or I don't know.
Okay, just yes. Okay, yeah, I would say so. Yes.
Okay. And you would understand, Troy, that where authority was concerned, your mum did like a challenge.
I'd say so. Yeah.
She was not afraid to say her piece. She was not afraid to challenge people. I don't mean that she would be rude, because she wouldn't, but she was highly intelligent and extremely articulate. So when it came to questioning why someone had done such a thing, she could put it in such a way that they would be squirming in their seats.
Yeah, I would say that's
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Not afraid to put it out how it was. But also she's not in life. She wasn't a physically large lady, but personality was huge, and she'd got a heart bigger than Texas. It was a big heart. And when she loved big, your mum.
Yes.
Okay. And you both knew that you were loved by her.
Yes.
Yes. And whenever she went anywhere, whether went shopping or went on holiday or went out for the day with other people, she wouldn't have been able to resist but treat her family to little bits and pieces. I don't mean she spent a fortune, but she always thought about other people. So she bought you things. I just saw this and I just thought of you and I just wanted you to have this, you know?
Yeah, I'm asking my wife. Does that sound right?
Honey, why are you asking me?
Yeah, I mean, that sounds.
She would sometimes
She's your mom.
Yeah.
She would randomly do that, but more so, send articles or see clippings or this reminded me of you and send it and that kind of thing.
Okay. Well, would you understand? I don't know what this means exactly, but Troy, do you have a liking or quite a collection of belts for trousers and jeans and stuff?
I wouldn't say it's out of the ordinary.
Well, I don't know. I don't know many people who have. I don't know. Because I keep being made aware of a buckle that's what's C and G, or is it C and C? I don't know.
Gucci.
Is that Gucci? I don't know. I could just kept seeing it, sort of like that, and I kept seeing letters. C, it looked like C and G. I don't know. I don't know. And it looked like that. But she kept giving a belt to you. And Troy, would you understand that you've had to fit into other people's expectations, which is not something you generally like doing?
Uh,
Gonna have to turn my
at
volume up.
times, yes, yeah, for sure.
Okay. Okay. And because I feel as if, see, your mum didn't much care for other people's expectations or what they thought about her. She fit into her own agenda and her own expectations, which were very high. Her own morals and values were very high. So she didn't much put in store other people's, but she makes me aware that the work that you do and the life that you lead, you are like your mum in many ways. So you don't put yourself on a pedestal. Please don't misunderstand me when I say you are up here in what you expect of yourself and your own expectations and what you put yourself through. And she just wants you to carry on and take no notice of what other people say or do. You do what you feel is right, because you are the only person who will look at themselves and measure themselves in what you've done. Does that make sense to you, Troy?
I would say that does make sense. Yes, thank you.
Okay. So it doesn't matter what anybody else says, blow everybody else, or words to that effect, I feel. Your mum's honesty knew no bounds. And as I'm aware of her here, I know that when she was on the dance floor, she was very expressive. Her face and her body language said it all. And so I feel that all that you've worked for, all that you've been putting all this training for and learning, and you've been researching and trying to be the best that you could be, she is celebrating. Yeehaw! That's what that sounds very typical in a way, but she wants you to know how super, super proud she is of you, her boy. You will always be her boy. It doesn't matter how tall you are or how old you get to be. You will never be anything other than her boy to her. And Holly, you have pushed him, and it's been a challenge to you, the pair of you, how you've had to sort of alter in a way what you would normally do to fit in, but you have overcome all of those obstacles to be who you are and to live the life that you're now reaping those benefits, and she wants to dance and she wants to celebrate with you. And can I ask you, did she like Garth, is it Brooks? Did your mom like Garth Brooks in particular?
Not in particular. She liked country music. My dad loves country music, but she also liked other things as well.
Okay.
And
She must have also liked Elvis because I kept hearing Elvis.
I mean, we don't know exactly, but she loved to dance, and she did love country music, and she would always be on the dance floor. She was a great dancer.
Yeah.
Okay. And you know the song Sisters Are Doing It For Themselves? I keep hearing that as well. So I know there's lots of different genres going on there. If there was a song on the radio, she could sing along to almost anything. There wasn't anything off, you know, that she wouldn't go, oh, I don't like that she would sing along. So I'm aware, but also Sisters Doing It For Ourselves. I feel that's between you and her, Holly, in particular. And I don't know whose birthday it is coming up, but she makes me aware that there is a birthday coming up because I keep seeing a birthday cake that is decorated with pink on it. So it's a lady or a girl's birthday. I'm also aware here that where there are plans, where you are changing things, where you are unsure about things, your mum, once she made her mind up, there was no going back. That's it. We're going, we're doing it. And that's it. All right. So please, please, please have confidence in what you're doing. And she just is so thrilled that you started on this pathway. And you are both amazing, amazing healers in this world. And the amount of people who you help
Thank you.
is just phenomenal. So please don't stop and never, ever, ever dull your light. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Now I'm aware of a gentleman here, and I believe this gentleman loved to get on the karaoke. And I know I said Elvis before, but Elvis would have been his go-to. And it would have been the American trilogy. You know I know you know the American trilogy. It starts as one song and ends up quite something else, doesn't it? The American trilogy. But I can hear this gentleman singing, and he had a beautiful, deep singing voice. And I'm not sure the relationship at this moment in time, but I'm also aware he had a very neat and beautiful moustache that went like this, that he used to wax. So I know that he took his manscaping extremely seriously. I think that's what we call it, isn't it? Manscaping. Does someone understand this gentleman, please? And I know also he had quite a few leather, I don't know what you call them, ties. Do you call them ties? Leather ties in the shirt. And he had he took great pride in his appearance. He loved a check shirt, and I'm aware of him here. He had more than one hat, but I know that he had special hats for special occasions. He had his everyday one, but he's got this beautiful black leather Stetson. And I know he's got his black leather tie with his bits of silver on there. Is nobody understanding this, gentleman? Okay.
Press your raise hand button if you understand this, friends. It might not be immediate family. It might be somebody that you might need to think back. Your karaoke days.
Okay, yes. I wouldn't, they'd kick me out of karaoke. I'd be banned if it was me. But I know that this gentleman loved the karaoke, and it is Elvis who he would have his go-to to begin with. Nobody understands this.
Does somebody understand most of this information? Press your raise hand button if you do.
Okay.
Oh, Ingrid has her hand up.
Okay.
Let's see,
Hello,
Ingrid.
Ingrid. What a beautiful picture that is of you, Ingrid.
There you are. Hello.
Hello. Ingrid, does this make sense to you?
Yes, especially the voice.
The voice. Deep,
Yeah.
melodic. It's a very comforting voice.
Yeah.
And Ingrid, is this your father?
No.
No. I knew she was going to say no then. And you would understand and have memories of this gentleman singing.
Yes.
Okay. And would you understand that he would start with the same song each time? It might not be the American trilogy, but I'm aware that he would have his sort of comfort song, if you like.
I don't know.
Okay, okay. And would you understand that him singing was very much almost like a lullaby when he sang, because I feel comforted and I feel at ease when he sang?
Yes.
Okay. And he makes me aware here, when he sang and when he spoke, there isn't a great deal of difference.
Yeah.
If that makes sense to you. I know it should make sense to you, but I'm also aware here he's a very calm gentleman. He has a calm influence upon you.
Yes.
Okay. I feel at ease with him. I feel that I could listen to his stories all day long. And he makes me feel here he was a gentleman who everybody would have said good things about him. He was essentially a good man, Ingrid.
Yes.
Yes. And I know I said to Troy and to Holly before about being a healer. This gentleman had a healing influence upon everybody when he spoke to them. They felt better for being in his presence.
Yes.
Okay. And this is why he's here. Now, Ingrid, would you understand that at times you are aware of his presence with you?
Yes, absolutely.
As you are, I'm sure you are. You are aware of him now. You've been aware of him today.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, he makes me aware of his presence and that he's been around you today. And your thoughts
Okay.
today have been, please don't get upset, but quite sad today in some ways.
Yes.
Okay. And that's why he comes to help you today. So his thoughts, uplifting thoughts, is healing thoughts, that although today is not a good day, there is always moments where you are going to feel uplifted, where you are not going to feel quite so sad. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So he had a way of sort of holding you, and he was firm but never harsh, but just steadying you, and embracing you. And that's what he wants to do, to embrace you, to make you feel that he is aware that today has not been so good for you today. But he makes me want to say, it's not going to be like that for the rest of today. It's going to feel, you're going to feel lighter. Okay? And please, please, please love yourself, Ingrid. Will you do that?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Mitch is going, and I'm going to say to him, I'm going to say thank you, Ingrid, for speaking to me. And now I'm going to do a quick swap, and Mitch will be sitting in the chair in no time at all. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. And I hope to all of our friends listening, you're pulling these towards you, just how close they
Yes,
are.
almost seamless.
Didn't notice a thing.
Yeah, you can't tell it's so much brighter. Unfortunately, you get a better picture. Unfortunately, but I just noticed. I thought, good grief, Kath's disappearing in the darkness as we're up in the house. Is getting dark here, even though the time's gone by. It, I wanted to come in like a space invader I was going to go, because I was sitting there, and I don't normally sit with stuff. I don't like to sit with stuff. I'm going to take these off because it's irritating me. But I'm aware of someone who would know and have, and I feel as though it's brother, and I've got to go back. I mean, I'm going back. Brother would have loved Space Invaders and the little arcade machines and things like that, because that was that feeling. Because our roof space is sloped here, so I've got to crunch down, and he was still like, "Go on, go, I dare you," going like that. So we would have that scene from The Office, when they do this particular thing, but someone would understand the brother who would have loved these old games, like the original Asteroids and things like that, but would have loved games consoles. But I'm also aware that they would have had them at home, the early computer games, where you load it on cassettes and things like that. But I do feel as though it's brother that I've got to talk about.
Somebody understand this information? Brother who liked the old games, Space Invaders, and had those consoles and cassettes.
It would have been classed as old games then.
It would be, because we're senior citizens now, Mitch.
But I was just very much aware of that while all the time Kath was working. It wouldn't go away. So I know I have brother in the spirit world, and I feel very much that where brother was concerned, there would have been a lot of breathing issues that would have come in his life, but I feel that it's actually more to do with the heart as opposed to the lungs. And I do feel it was the heart that would have taken him to the spirit world.
Thank you. Does somebody understand most of this information? Press your raise hand button if you do. You're getting that little nudge from your soul. Jeanette has her hand raised. Let's talk to Jeanette. Jeanette, if you could press unmute. Hi, Jeanette.
Hi, Jeanette.
Hi. There's only one problem. Everything you said is accurate, except it be husband, not brother.
Right. Okay. Let me just work this through just a second. So you understand all that where the games are concerned?
Oh God, yes.
And that noise, of the cassette loading, because I'm old enough to have done them things as well. But then would you understand, then you must have a brother as well?
Yes, I do. One passed and one's still here.
Right. Okay. Because I know I got brother, I got this, but let me just work with this to work out why. And there's a particular thing that you would understand, that there's a similarity in personality between your brother in the spirit world and your husband in the spirit world, because I've got this daft sense of humor, and it's like I'm going back to being teenagers and still at that childish ability. Would you understand that?
Yes, somewhat.
Okay, because it's like as though we still got to laugh at things, and you would understand that with your husband, that I have a man who he had a wonderful ability to laugh at himself and would highlight something he'd done wrong, even if it was going to have a negative effect on him, because I'm comfortable in who I am. I've made a mistake. I hold my hands up and I'm sorry.
Yes.
And it's important as well that he would only say sorry when he meant it, and it would be
True.
once.
True.
Because if he said sorry multiple times, he was just making a noise in his mouth, which he knew other people wanted to hear. But you knew when he meant he was sorry, he would say it once.
Right.
And mean it. And it's important as well that I know I have somebody who had, when he was a young man, when he was playing the games, it obviously, as lots of us are when we didn't have the patience. But as he grew as a person, and as you grew as a team, he developed a wonderful patience with himself, but also with others.
True.
And that's one of the things that you often reflect upon, when you think about him or you experience a situation, and
Yes.
it's like,
He did die of a heart attack.
yeah, I'm aware, because that's the reason why I got to say the one sorry. You've had it. You've had the one sorry, because he meant it, that he couldn't stay. You
Okay.
understand that?
Yes.
So I've said it the once because I meant it. But I'm aware of this aspect of just having this patience with other people. But what I'm aware of, he wants you to reflect upon that with yourself, because you haven't had much patience with yourself for quite a while now.
That's true.
And he wants to come today to just get you to just stop for a moment, because your life often can be like a whirlwind, and then it can go very, very quiet. And then it's a whirlwind again. And it doesn't seem as though you've had the opportunity to prepare things, to get things in order, to be able to move forward in the way that you feel will be right for you. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And that's what he's wanting to come today, to give you that calmness, to give you that assurance that he did when he was here. You only needed to, he didn't need to speak to you. You only needed just to look at you. And that little look that you would share together was enough.
True.
And he received so much from you. He would have told you numerous times throughout your lives together that you gave him the confidence and the belief in himself to be himself, because you saw the real him, the full version. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I do.
And it's important that you realize how much you brought to him to enable him to be himself and to be who he was. Because I'm aware that so many people, particularly in his younger days, didn't believe in being positive and instilling hope and dreams into him. You did.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
And he will be forever grateful that his lucky accident happened with you, because I just feel as though there's something that he would have been in another situation, but something had happened before, which then changed the plans that he'd had. Not necessarily that day, but like even a few weeks before, some things changed, his normal pattern changed, and that's how he came to meet you.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yes.
Because he's just making
We
me
met
aware
at my work.
okay. So it's like as though it's a situation that I knew there's something that it wouldn't have been my normal thing to where I would be. And that's the thing, that between the two of you, you got each other out of your comfort zones.
Right.
It wasn't always one traffic, one way, or the other one being all positive. There's times that you truly loved and supported each other. And I've got to say to you, and these are the words that I've got to say to you, I am still in love with you like I always was.
Thank you.
And you would understand that he would have told you that throughout the years when you've questioned things and you've asked questions that all men don't like to be asked. Does my bum look big in this? But he wouldn't. He'd go, he'd come out with a flippant remark and know full well that he might get something, a dirty look or a shoe or whatever thrown at him. But
Yeah, that's him.
he couldn't help himself,
No,
that was part of his personality and part of the magic that you both shared. And you would reflect and go, oh, maybe I shouldn't have asked you this question anyway. It was a loaded question. But there's that freshness. That was every day was freshness. And so today he just wants to bring you some flowers, some tulips. I know that I'm going into the beginning of May as I'm giving these tulips, and they're beautiful, the reds and the yellows. because it's for the body as well as the mind, and it's to do with the birthday in the early part of April, but he brings them, as you blend the two colors together, you get orange, which is the color of healing, and he wants to bring that for your body and your mind, whereas the red and the yellow, but bringing them together to bring healing, because just to find that little bit of pace and that little bit of evenness within your day, and that's all that he wanted to bring, which is a wonderful gift, as he puts it, all that I bring. But
Thank
he
you.
wants you to know that you are loved. It's important today that you know you are loved for who you are.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for speaking to me.
Thank you. One more, Mitch?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Right. I feel as though I have Mum. And Mum was incredibly proud of her legs, because she's shown me these wonderful frocks, you know, that when they used to come out from sideways, like almost at 45 degrees, and like there must be like 3,000 meters of taffeta underneath the skirt, and these, you know, these domestic goddess films and things like this, which you would have seen, and then they would have these beautiful legs and high heel shoes. And I feel that Mum would have been of that generation when I was so proud of her legs. But I'm also aware of a dry sense of humor. And what I'm aware of, I was still proud of my legs because they kept me upright, but at the end, I was glad that I covered them below the knee. So I know I have this dry sense of humor, self-deprecating, but also fun. A lady who had a fun sense of humor. But I know that in her prime would have been like the late 50s, early 60s, when those sort of dresses, you know, with the Doris Day look, and think that's what I'm being made aware of.
Thanks, Mitch. Who can understand this lady or think you can? Press your raise hand button for us, please. No hands up just yet.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, I always say that and somebody does it. Nadia, if you would press your unmute button, please. Hi, Nadia. Are you there? You are unmuted, but we cannot hear you. But it's possible you can. There you go. Hi, Nadia.
Hello?
Yes,
Hi.
gotcha.
So can you understand this with Mum, Nadia?
Yes.
It's right. Just before you put your hand up, all I heard in my head is, should I just give them a clout round the ear hole to make them wake up? So would you understand that your mum's dry sense of humor coming through there?
Yes.
Because it's like she was a great people watcher. Your mum could see the dynamics between people, even if they weren't aware of them, but also the chemistry of people. Do you understand?
Yes. Oh, yes.
And it's like she would always have a comment. Oh, I think he'd be all right for such and such a body. I don't know whether she did matchmaking, but I do feel as though it's something that she would often say. Oh, I think they'd be nice for, you know, your friend such and such a body. And she always appreciated. She appreciated a good-looking man, but what she appreciated more was a gentleman.
Yes.
And how people are treated was something that mattered to your mum.
Yes.
And I know with her sense of humor, she could deal with situations, but I'm aware that she's wanting to make you aware that she was there when you've recently had to deal with a situation, but you dealt with it with humor. And she just wanted to say bravo. Can you understand that?
Yes. Yeah.
Because it would have been so much easier to just punch them on the nose, but might have ended up with handcuffs. But what I'm aware, and this again is a sense of humor, but I'm aware of this inside you were very, very annoyed at how somebody could behave in that way.
Oh, yes.
But you, to diffuse and to take things down, she was really, really proud of you, because your mum loved being in your life. But I'm aware here that as the time went by, she got better at not being overly involved in your life. You understand that?
Yes. Yeah.
Because it's like she couldn't stop mothering when you got out the door. She would worry and be concerned, and she was a relief for her. And it's always that thing of lying in bed. You think she might be half asleep, but she was waiting for just that door, and then she could relax. And I'm aware here that those feelings of it's love and concern, but I'm aware of that for you recently, where you've not been able to sleep in the same way that you would normally because of your concern for someone around you. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And she comes because she understands where that comes from, that place of love. And knowing that having that distance, and it's that very difficult balance. But what she's making me aware of, as we said earlier, like a bit of a dance, there's times when you'll be more involved, and there's times when you'll step back and be more involved and step back. But she wants to take you to that place of trusting your instincts and not to listen to the well-intentioned advice that you've had from others around you recently. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Because she's like doing that look then and looking through the top of her eyelids, like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying anything, but you know what I mean. And it's important that you trust what you feel is right and rely upon that. Sometimes our brain and other people's advice may say, no, don't go that way. It's the wrong way. But what we don't realize is they're the lemmings following Chief Lemming going over the cliff. And we're walking backwards going, no, you're right, I don't feel this. And that's fine. So trust yourself. She trusted and believed in herself and could be quite obstinate, especially when she got older, of what she would and would not accept and the help that she would and would not accept. You stay the same. You stay who you are. Stay in your light. Stay in your truth. Because she knows and believes in you. Please do that. Please do that with yourself.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for speaking to me.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Kath. We'll get her back on screen. Got just some announcements and then a few words for the week and then our closing prayer, our closing song. First of all, we know not everyone can get a reading here today. So I do hope that you pulled that towards yourself and you get to see really how close they are. And their love is always there. We can keep talking to them. Sometimes it sounds like our voice, but you know, it's something a little different, and it's our loved ones. There's a lot of grief support for you. You can find out more about Kath and Mitch on their website, which is thesoultrust.com. They're both mediums and, like I said, advanced grief recovery specialists. Also, chapter 10 of my book, there's lots of information about grief. If you don't have a copy yet, there might be one already in your personal library at wedon'tdie.com that you didn't know, or you can just enter your name and your email address at the bottom of the page at wedon'tdie.com. There's lots of free goodies there for you as well. Kath and Mitch are doing their next free grief cafe on the 24th of April. Next Sunday, we've got Chris Jacobs joining me. He's a wonderful medium, and he'll be doing our address. We've got some great new classes coming up in April. We've got Carrie and Phil who will be back with the Gentle Path to Spirit, a very gentle course, just discovering your own psychic and medium abilities. And we all have them. We do. And who do we practice with? Each other. That's in the course. And who comes through? our loved ones. So you don't ever have to be a medium, but I think it's good for everyone just to get an understanding about how your soul perceives information and how close our loved ones really are. And then we also have Trance in the Altered States with Scott Milligan. It's a different kind of mediumship. There's no breakout rooms. This one, you spend a lot of time with your eyes closed, feeling that gentle blend with our soul, with our loved ones, and with our guides. You can see everything coming up and register for them at wedon'tdie.com. As always, I'm just an email away at sandrachamplain@gmail.com. A shout out to our friends who have donated towards our Sunday gathering, making it possible. We don't pass a plate around, but things get expensive from time to time. So if you ever feel like throwing $1 or $2 our way, you're welcome to. If you go to wedon'tdie.com, there's different tabs at the top. If you click on the Sunday Gathering tab, you can register for next week's Sunday Gathering, leave a donation if you wish. No pressure there, but also you can watch a whole bunch of past Sunday gatherings. They're filled with inspiration, and you just pretend you're there live watching them. They really are loaded with good inspiration. Also at wedon'tdie.com, I've got my new podcast episodes. They're very comforting, very healing, lots of good information about grief, about the afterlife, wonderful stories. My latest episode with Simon Bown is his name. He's just published a book on verified near-death experiences. These are the times where people, yes, they go to the light, et cetera, and so forth, but they can also see different things and verified things that they've been able to witness, even though they had been flatlined. Pretty interesting. The last thing I want to share is after hearing Kath and Mitch today, I'm very lucky that I have my mom here. She's upstairs. She's going to turn 83 in a couple of weeks, and she is my best friend. And how often do I say I love you and give her smooches and just thank her? And not often enough. So I know we don't all have our moms around, but my request is for you to thank someone, whether it's alive or in the spirit world, a little thank you and a little I love you just from the heart, truly, truly from the heart. And if you want extra special credit for this week, and I mean, this is a big one, go look in a mirror, look into your eyes, and tell that person, thank you, and I love you. I know the journey's been tough. It's been a long one. We don't know what the future holds, but I'm so grateful I got to be me. And I love you for all you have and all you don't have. So that's pretty easy. Who's going to take me up on that? I hope it's you. With that, I'm going to turn it over to one of my friends for the closing prayer. Who's going to unmute themselves?
Me. It's me
We
again.
all do it. We
Yeah,
all do
we
it.
always. I didn't have to go far back there to get it me being me again. Infinite Spirit, thank you for this opportunity that we've shared together. In bringing us together, we have all brought who we are. We have brought our loved ones. We have brought the love that is within us to be here, to make the effort and the time to sit within our own world, within this greater world, within this universe, within the divine love that is there for all of us. And Father, we thank you for this opportunity, for the lessons that we have to learn, for the life that we have to live, no matter how difficult this moment may be. We are full of infinite possibility. And let us rejoice. Let us bring that light from within our soul and let it light this world and manifest throughout our day so that we can bring joy and happiness to ourselves and an understanding more of us and others and the purpose of this life. We thank you, Father. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Mitch, and thank you, Kath. Lovely to see you again, and I know we'll see you again soon. And to all of you watching our Sunday gathering, thank you for being here, and thank you to our members of the Sunday gathering in the spirit world. With that, we're going to play our last closing song. It's Desiree, You Gotta Be. Love will save the day. Love you all. Thank you again. See you next Sunday. Bye, everyone.